Hey everybody, welcome to Cougar Blitz. Got a fun episode today. It's been a little while since we talked. Lots happened. A lot of craziness in the state of Utah.
Ain't that the
best way
truth,
to
dude?
describe it is Kyle Whittingham's wrath. No thanks to the University of Utah.
Yep. A lot of crazy changes happening. Obviously, I think one big thing that we can't skip over is the Poptarts Bowl. Man,
Oh, Poptarts Bowl is fantastic.
just a fantastic game. I mean, way to keep it entertaining. But the boys in white came out on top, and it was just it was a fun game to watch. I do feel like Georgia had us kind of in the beginning, kind of put us on the ropes a little bit, and then we just stepped it up. And we came back. I think the defense really stepped up second half, especially fourth quarter. When Georgia was putting some of that pressure back on us, they just came out and they played football. And Evan Johnson, if you ever see this, good freaking job. Way to end the game with just a great play. And it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, I think that what made that play so great is that he gave up a bad play, just like 2 or 3 plays before, that put Georgia Tech in that position to be able to potentially win the game.
and then to come out and just do something crazy, like intercept it in the end zone, was just phenomenal.
It goes to show good old Shmev is, in my opinion, one of the best corners in college football, because that mentality of, and he talked about it in postgame, but the mentality of, having a big play happen on you and just forgetting about it. And I know Trey Alexander just talked about it in interviews too. Like, that's what makes a good corner. Like, go from a good corner to a great corner is being able to get rid of that, shake it off, and move on. Next play.
Yeah, and a lot of it.
He literally did 2 plays later.
you kind of have to, if you're a defensive back, a lot of times you have to gamble a little bit, because it's such it's a very heavily watched position by refs, because holds and PIs are ultra common with backs, just because it's high speed, it's high intensity, and you're going for the ball or you're going for a tackle, and you got to be on your toes, but to treat it a little bit like you're gambling every play, I think is a good thing. I heard some funny guy I know said that roulette is a game of equal odds every time, because every spin is the same odds. And with a defensive back, you kind of have to treat it like that. You kind of have to just sit down and say, all right, that last play I sucked. This is a new play. They're going to throw it here. It's a new play. I just can't treat it like it was the previous play. And he did that, and it was good.
And, they're so well coached, which kind of takes us to the big news, which is we don't have any of our defensive back coaches anymore.
Yep.
Because Jay Hill, who was their D coordinator and safeties coach, is gone, and he took with him, the only coach that's been announced so far that he's taken with him from BYU anyway, is Gennaro Guilford, our corners coach, which I think is a massive blow. I think, in my opinion, replacing the safeties with a coach is much easier than finding a replacement for the corners.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you replace a guy like Gennaro easily. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to replace him, period. I think we're just going to have to kind of get a new mindset in there.
Yeah.
With Jay Hill, there's this guy named Gavin Fowler that was an analyst under his for pretty much his whole stint at BYU.
Yep.
And he's now the D coordinator at Weber State. But if we brought him in as a safeties coach, I think he'd end up still making more money.
Yeah, so, no, 100% he would. And with a lot of the coaching changes, obviously the majority of it seems like it's on defense. I think one of the big things is Jay is probably getting a good deal. I don't know what the details necessarily, what he's going to be making at Michigan, or kind of what his role will be besides defense. But I know he's going to do great. But I know there's talent out there, and Austin and I have talked about this a bunch of times. There's for sure talent out there with ex-BYU people, with people related to the church. We're a football school at this point, and we have been for a very, very long time. Now is even more than ever with the college football playoff and all that stuff, where headlines, Dave Portnoy's wearing our shirts all the time. Like it's a big deal, and I know that there's people out there who are related to the church or related to BYU in some way or have been that can fill a role like that, like Gavin, for example.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, and I think a big plus is that Gary Anderson was on a show a couple days ago talking about how he's staying. He doesn't want to be the D coordinator, which he would be a amazing candidate, probably the best candidate to fill that spot if he wanted it, but he doesn't. He just wants to be an analyst. He wants to help coach the new coordinator, which I think is fantastic,
Yeah,
and he wants to help coach the players in more of like
the
it's
one-on-one
kind of funny because
settings.
he
Yeah,
talks about how he wants to be grandpa, but that's kind of what he is for the football program too. He's like grandpa for the defense. You know, they're to support, they're to help, they're to good schemes, but he doesn't want to be like the full-time parent.
yeah, yeah. He
So
he he
I
wants to
think he's
co-parent a little
fantastic.
bit.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, when you look at Gary Anderson, like a lot of people don't think about this, but um, before there was a Kalani Sitake, before there was a Morgan Scalley, before there was a Jay Hill, it was Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
And Gary Anderson coached all of those guys how to coach defense.
Yep.
So I think that's really good for us. We've got a guy like Kelly Papinga, got a guy like um oh Puha there
Yeah.
at the D tackle spot. We've got Sean Nua at USC. We mentioned him
Yep.
when
We
we were
talked about him
talking.
today.
He's a good one. Texas just fired their defensive coordinator, which I have no idea why, because their defenses have been top 20 for years.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Steve Sarkisian just decided to move on because he wanted, quote unquote, his guy.
Yep.
And so he got rid of him. And that guy's got ties to BYU through just like having ties to Utah.
Yep.
And like some of his first coaching stints were in the Idaho, Utah area.
Yep.
And he would be a great fit. You've got I didn't know this, but the Florida State defensive coordinator who saved Florida State's defense from the low ranks of college football and put them in the top 20 in only 2 years. He got baptized actually a year ago. So shout out to whatever missionaries found him and got him baptized. But um, he's now obviously got connections to BYU and well through the church. So he's a guy that could come in. So I think like D coordinator wise, obviously we're gonna miss Jay Hill, but
Yeah.
we've got dudes there, and
Yeah. Like Jay Hill. I obviously I'm a massive Jay Hill fan. I have been since he came. Like he's so good, but he's not the only one out there. And
no,
and that's something Austin and I have talked about, and I've talked about with some other friends. Like there's for sure options. There's for sure other people that we can count on, we can rely on that are going to do fantastic work and come in and just, you know, go all out on this program and maybe take it to an even newer level. That's my hope.
yeah.
And there's some great options to do that. So I'm hopeful.
There's also this guy named Vic Soto,
It's also true.
who just got promoted over at I think it's Cal, but I mean, in my opinion, I think you promote Kelly Papinga.
Yep.
The dude's been coached by Jay Hill, by Bronco Mendenhall,
Yep.
and by Gary Anderson. Three of the best defensive minds in the last 20 years of football have coached up Kelly Papinga.
Yep.
And so I think that he would be a great fit because he has schemes on schemes on schemes that he could implement. I honestly wouldn't know if he'd stick to the 4-3 or if he'd go 3-4 just because he's coached well under both schemes
Yeah, he's got
on
options.
multiple fronts. So he's good, and then I think that we go get Sean Nua or we go get Vic Soto to take his spot as the D ends coach.
Yep.
Both of those guys would kill it at that position, and then we go get Gavin Fowler at safeties, and I think that our defense won skip a beat if we did something like that.
Absolutely. And I don't feel like it's there's a definite possibility, and I think everybody's thinking about this, that it could go down that we needed Jay Hill and he was a good chemistry fit for the build of this team. And it could come back to bite us in the butt. I don't necessarily think it will.
No, no, I think that this is Kalani's team. Kalani went and got his guy because, to be honest, when he built his initial staff, they weren't his guys. He took the position, and BYU kind of told him who they'd be willing to pay for,
Yeah.
and so he just got what he was kind of told to take. Since then, he's went like when he's replaced coordinators. I mean, he's had the likes a guy named Jeff Grimes, a guy named Aaron Roderick on offense, and then a guy named Jay Hill. So I think that we're going to be just fine. We have the money now, so it's not like BYU is going to be saying, "Oh, we only have this budget." Kalani can go get or promote whoever he wants, and he has the defense that Jay Hill was coaching. A lot of people don't realize what is and was Kalani Sitake's defense from Utah when he was the defensive coordinator at Utah. So,
and Kalani's a defense guy.
It's the same scheme. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not too worried about that. Not to mention, I mean, we've got some dudes that have said that they're coming back.
Yep.
So, and players-wise, I mean, just to name a couple guys, like on offense, we've got Parker Kingston, which is massive.
Huge.
We've got, Andrew Gentry, which is great. A guy that I think, Bruce Mitchell, top 5.
Oh, so good that he's coming.
In college football.
Yep.
Coming back. Huge. Kyle Safarchuk, that guy is really, really good.
Yep.
And Sonny Makassini.
Yep.
So we literally have, what was that, 1, 2, 4 seniors coming back on the offensive line that all have lots of reps over the last 2 years at that spot. So O-line, I'm feeling really good with those guys coming back. On defense, I'm super excited about Nusi Tamalpayao. That kid is a stud. He's only going to be a sophomore. We've got Cialea Serra as a junior. That kid, I'm very happy that he's coming back. Not that I really thought that he was going to leave, but I was a little worried just because, we've got lots of linebackers. Keanu Tanuvasa is coming back instead of going to the draft. That's massive.
That's big
in our
time.
front line because we redshirted Justin Kirkland, so that D-tackle spot is going to be really nice because we'll actually have both those guys healthy and in their last years of football in college. And then Raider Demooney.
Yep. Big pumped about that.
Because I guess we went to the Vegas Bowl, and I was a little worried that maybe there was some shenanigans going on there. But he was just there to support some family because there are some Demooneys, his cousins, that go there.
Yep.
And then the biggest one, in my opinion, Falatau Satawala.
Oh, yeah. Satawala is a gangster, dude. He's so good. And I'm pumped.
Yeah. And there's quite a few media guys out there that are saying that he's a guaranteed first-round draft pick when he decides to leave college.
Yeah. And he's just a monster on defense. I think back to that Utah play. I think if I mention it, you'd know when he just laid a dude completely out.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it was fantastic, and it was like that moment. Legally just knocked a dude off his rocker, dude. It was so fun to watch, and he's consistently performed. I think we're going to see an even better Satawala next year. I'm pumped about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Satawala is the kind of guy that, I mean, who knows what we're going to do defensive scheme-wise, if we're going to change it up, if we're going to keep it the same. He could be like a rover type. He could be a hybrid. So he could be that. He could obviously just be a traditional safety. Yeah. Or if he puts on 15 pounds, he can be a linebacker.
Yeah.
At any of the linebacker spots.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. You can line him up. And then obviously if you put on like 20 to 25 pounds, the dude could be a hybrid linebacker, blitzing linebacker.
Yeah.
With his speed and twitch and his athleticism. So that's what makes him, regarded as a first-round draft pick, is that if he retains weight, puts on weight, puts on a little bit of weight or a lot of weight,
he's going to
play
be
anywhere.
He's going to be a threat to offenses next year, and I'm pumped about that.
Yeah. Now, some of the guys that I'm waiting to hear about, like Bear Bachmeier hasn't said anything. I think he's okay because our offensive staff seems to be solidified. And I think Bear's one of those ones where, like, I just don't think that he feels like he has to say that he's coming back because he just is kind of like, why wouldn't I be coming back?
Right. I mean, he's getting a fantastic deal after this season. I have a feeling that NIL is going to work very heavily in his favor even more. Just because, I mean, he's going to get just BYU being BYU, he's going to get a local sponsor. He's going to get, or two or three. He's probably going to be in some ads. I would imagine, we had Arch Manning got sponsored by Viore this last year, the athletic apparel company. I would imagine with how Bear performed this year and how different he was in a lot of the quarterbacks, he's going to have that working in his favor too. Utah is obviously very hungry for football. Just as a state, we can tell because every CEO from Silicon Slopes down to St. George is pouring money into BYU, and at least that's what it kind of seems like. And I know I just have this feeling that that's going to work in his favor, and so I would be shocked. I would be shocked if he left with how good of a deal he could get here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that would make me think that he would make me start wondering is if Aaron Roderick left, and I'm pretty sure he's not. Like, in my opinion, I think that Kalani, as much as I have my thoughts about Aaron Roderick, I think with changing up your defensive staff, you keep your offensive staff.
Yeah.
Intact, completely intact. Obviously, if we were just changing out position coaches, I wouldn't be as worried about it. But with it being like the defensive coordinator is being swapped out, in my opinion, and Aaron Roderick has shown that when he has a first-year quarterback, the offenses, get it done, but they're a lot more vanilla. They're a lot more clock management. And then in the second year with that quarterback, when you look at Jaren Hall, Zach Wilson, those offenses, the training wheels come off, and they're explosive, and they're scary.
Especially with an O-line coming back that Bears had a year working with, right? Full year, he played every game, and getting to work with them again, I think is a good sign also that he's going to be rock solid. Parker Kingston, he's got great chemistry with. On and off the field, that's going to be another thing that gets him to come back.
Joe Phillips, like an actual year with JoJo.
Yep.
Which is another guy we haven't heard solidified, yes, but he's kind of like Bear in my mind.
Yeah.
Thing.
And I'm excited to see, obviously we have a lot of new talent coming in too with some of the recruiting. I haven't heard anything bad about any of the recruits moving or changing up. I imagine just as every year goes, now we're going to probably lose a couple to transfer portal. We're going to new people are gonna come in. We're gonna lose some. Nature of the beast. I'm not too worried about that though. I feel like we've got some good talent coming in that's gonna be hardcore.
Yeah. I think, like you said, like we're gonna have like a LaMason Waller type deal,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Where they come in for a year and then they leave. Yeah, that's gonna happen in this recruiting class. It happens with everybody.
Yep.
But at the same time, I mean, when you look at BYU, in terms of retention, I think that we're one of the best at retaining the guys we want in the country. One of the best teams at doing that. Now, the biggest guy that I want to see him say, I'm staying, is a guy named Shmev, Evan Johnson, that we already talked about.
Yep.
That's the guy that I'm like, hey, I mean, like the D coordinator's gone, your cornerbacks coach is gone. We haven't heard anything. We've already heard from Trey Alexander. I'm getting a little worried about that.
Antsy. Yep.
So that's one guy. Now, in terms of there are a couple hot targets in the transfer portal. Walker Lyons out of USC, which would fill a huge need at tight end.
Yep. With Carson Ryan leaving, that'd be absolutely crucial to get someone else. Needs to happen.
100%. 100%. And then another guy that I don't know if you've heard about him. He makes it snow. Smith Snowden.
Oh.
So, guy out of Utah. He's not a super big name. He's just a legacy recruit that chose Utah over BYU as a 4-star athlete out of Sky Ridge.
Yep.
In Lehigh. He's being courted by just about everybody in college football right now.
Yeah, their head coach is leaving. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he already has a visit scheduled with BYU with as well as about 5 other schools. But BYU's in there. He would be awesome, especially if we hear what we don't want to hear about Evan Johnson.
Yeah.
He would be massive. If we get Evan Johnson and Trey Alexander and Smith Snowden, we have, in my opinion, the best secondary in college football at the corner position.
Deadly secondary.
Best secondary in college football.
Yeah.
Reddy DeMooney, Falata Satawala, Tommy Prasis, Smith Snowden, Evan Johnson, and Trey Alexander is
Yeah.
scary. Good
It's
luck passing on that defense.
it's going to be so tough. And we saw those guys. We mentioned DeMooney during the bowl game also, to pull it back to the Poptarts Bowl for just a second. DeMooney had a great game. We talked about him a little bit more. Evan Johnson had a great game. Satawala had a great game. I mean, overall, especially like I said before, in that second half, the defense came to play, and it was just, put pressure on their quarterback and make him make mistakes, which he did. A lot of incomplete passes that, were kind of, they were great drawn up plays. They clearly knew what they were doing, but chaos. That's what they do best, and that's. I'm excited, and I hope so badly that we can keep that momentum, even with losing Jay Hill. And it is Kalani's defense, like we talked about, and we showed that. We just got to keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and kind of just in closing, like, if we can retain that secondary, you can run whatever scheme you want and run man almost every play.
Yep.
And just let your linebackers and your D linemen go get to the quarterback.
Do their thing. Absolutely.
And so that's where, like, I don't know who needs to get a hold of Evan Johnson to have him.
Let's ring him up right now.
He's already committed, and we're just freaking out. We're just freaking out for no reason. But if he just did a little, hey, don't worry, I'm staying, that'd be really nice.
Be cool.
And then we need to go ask our Crumble Cookie dude to go talk to Smith Snowden for us and do whatever it takes to get him
out
in royal blue.
Yep.
Because at that point, if you retain guys like Tausili Akana and Bodie Schoonover, and you bring back Justin Kirkland and Tanavasa for their senior years, and you're rotating, guys like Fonohema and some of those other younger DNs, and a guy named Hunter Clegg that nobody talks about in his second year. I mean, it doesn't matter who the D coordinator is. It doesn't matter what scheme you're running.
It's just a good defense.
Good luck doing anything against that defense. Yeah.
Yep. One more thing just before we head out. Obviously, thank you guys for watching. AC and I had the opportunity to go to a girls basketball game at the Marriott Center, which, by the way, was just fun. It was a good time.
Oh,
it was great.
Super fun.
It was not what I expected. I've been to a couple girls basketball games back in the day. The team that we have now is a lot different. Just every part of it is different now. We watched potentially one of the best women's basketball players I've ever seen on TCU just tear us apart. She was. What was her name again?
Really good.
I can't remember her name.
I can pull it up 1 second.
But I know. I mean, obviously BYU basketball is a big thing.
Olivia Miles.
Yep, there it is. She was real good. I mean, she was pulling backstep threes and top of the key, just out dribbling some of these other girls, and it was fun to watch. There's the one.
Well, she had 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists.
My gosh, the assists! She was throwing some passes that were genuinely like Kobe Bryant level genius passes, like full on, over the arm tosses across the whole court to someone who was open three and just sunk it. It was amazing.
It reminded me of Donovan Mitchell in his first and second year with Utah, where he's just throwing these baseball passes, what they call them.
Yep.
And he's just throwing them across the court to wide open guys at the three.
Yep.
And the defense is obviously trying to come down on your side because you have the ball on the opposite side of the court. And that baseball type pass with the basketball, if you can master that and be accurate,
gosh,
like the defense can't do anything, because if they cheat like they're taught to do when you have the ball on the opposite side of the court, because literally as an offensive player, since you were in elementary school basketball, your coach has been telling you never throw a cross-court basketball pass.
And if you somehow figure out how to do it well and accurately, then suddenly the defense literally can't do anything because they don't know what they can do.
Nope.
So that was fun to watch. Some of the girls on BYU were being very physical. I feel like we've got a great team. Lee Camard, come on, What an absolute rock star. I like him a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The team looked really good. They actually had physicality
Yeah.
with their bigs, which we haven't seen with women's basketball
No.
since Jeff Judkins was there.
How many steals
So,
did we have
and
in
even
that
in his
game?
last 2 years, oh,
It was an
I don't know. But
obnoxious
one other
amount.
shout out, Sydney Benali. Sydney Benali was dropping threes all night long and some sick fadeaways um, from the res, which I served my mission on the res. So, you know, she played awesome, and then she had a really great game on Saturday too because they played on Saturday and actually upset. I believe it was Arizona State.
Trying to
Yep,
find
undefeated Arizona State.
I'm trying to find the fact that Olivia Miles had a triple double is obnoxious. Man, here it is. I want to see the steals stats, and I apologize. You're going to see my cursor on the screen here. But the TCU game, I mean, we were just all over that ball, and it was very fun to watch. I'll be honest. It was very, very fun to see them just attack the ball. Let's see. Do stats here.
I've got it right here. Actually.
You got it? You found it? You're quicker than I am. The steals.
10 steals.
10 steals. I mean, double-digit steals. Let's be real. That's what it is. That's a lot of steals in a game, and not any of them were. There weren't a lot of steals from Olivia Miles' cross-court passes, but it was all taking advantage of little mistakes that TCU made in their passing and in their dribbling, and the physicality that we had actually came into play, and they were doing it, and it was fun to watch. So if you get a chance, go watch BYU women's basketball. Very entertaining, very fun, and I'm a huge fan of Lee Camard and what he's doing with that team. It's gonna be fun to see what he does.
Yeah. One thing that I'll say about that, we ended up paying $8 per ticket, so it was totally worth it. Took all, I'm a girl dad, so I've got 4 little girls. Ethan's got a little girl, so we just like, hey, we're just gonna take the girls to go watch some girls play some basketball.
Great time.
Now my daughters are asking me when we're gonna go do it. So gotta figure out. But I mean, for $8, I mean,
it's hard to beat
I
that.
think in total, after getting food there and everything, we were like $50
total,
in total,
though. Like,
with like food and the tickets.
Yeah.
You can't do better than that, and the atmosphere was fantastic.
Oh, it was so fun.
There's actually quite a few people there.
Yeah, I mean,
And
the lower
music
bowl music was really good. They were a little more lax, I feel like, on the music compared to a men's game. But the whole lower bowl was pretty much full, and they had some rowdy students. AJ showed up, which obviously drew quite a good bit of attention from the fans. We had Foose show up too. That was fun. Yep.
Yeah. Tom Homo was there.
Yep, Tom Homo came.
There's some cool people there. There's some kids getting some autographs from Rob Wright and Xavier Stanton and
AJ.
Our boy AJ Devonta. So yeah, I mean, like it was a cool atmosphere. It was a lot of fun. They had some decent places to get some food. They had Cougar Tails, so I don't know what more you could ask for less than $30. Take your whole family.
Yep, super solid.
So, but I think that's it. I mean, go see you a women's basketball game at BYU, and from now and then we'll talk about some more BYU football, and hopefully we got some good transfer portal news. I think we're going to, especially at wide receiver. There's a linebacker at Texas, so I think we got some good news coming.
It'll be good. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on audio, go ahead and like and share this podcast. One helpful thing you can do is leave us a review, especially on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out a ton, lets us pop up in more people's feeds, and helps us create better episodes for you. If you're on YouTube, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more of this. Let us know in the comments below if you've ever gone to a women's basketball game. And if you haven't, go. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Wait, we got to do one roar. Just one. Here we go. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. Go Cougs.
Oh, yeah.